This is a pencil. It's a simple invention. So simple, in fact, that if the inventor or inventors, more about that later, were alive today getting rich from the multi-billion-dollar pencil industry, you'd be hating on them. Seemingly simple and successful inventions do that to you. Take, for example, the wacky wall walker, the little sticky octopus toy invented by Ken Hakuda that you throw against a wall. It kind of sticks and kind of doesn't. Let's face it, Ken got some hate from you. Admit it. Man, I could have done that. He was probably just lucky, right? I mean, it's an octopus that sucked at sticking. Sorry, I'm projecting. Back to the pencil. The pencil. It's a simple writing instrument, or drawing. It also doubles as a chew toy for humans. You chew it when you're thinking or stress, or if the eraser runs out. It's an accessory for that avant-garde construction drip. But the pencil doesn't try to be more than just a pencil, even when we want it to be. It only exists to write. Doesn't even try to conform to the shape of your hands. It's a hexagon. It's not exactly ergonomic unless you're a robot. The lesser pen, on the other hand, tries all sorts of tricks to please you and your little hands. Psh, pencil doesn't give a about your feelings or your hands. It only exists to write or draw. It's wood, graphite, metal, yellow. Okay, that last one doesn't sound tough, but it wasn't meant to be. It was originally painted yellow because it was a time where the best graphite came from China, and the makers of pencils that used that graphite wanted everyone to know it, so they painted them yellow. You see, yellow was considered a regal color, for lack of a better word, in China, so if you wanted the best, you bought a yellow pencil. But let's backtrack a little bit. The pencil was really born from a stylus. There were metal styli. Is that styli or styluses? We're going to go with styli. There were metal styli and lead styli, which were known to make darker marks than the metal ones on papyrus, which was a form of paper back then. And even though we still call the pencil's core lead, it really is graphite. And although graphite made an even darker mark than lead, it broke easily, so it needed to be encased. Before wood, it was string and a host of other encasements, but wood stood the test of time. At the beginning, I mentioned inventor or inventors, and that's really because the pencil is sort of a product of evolution at the hands of numerous people and companies. About 100 years after the discovery of a large deposit of graphite in England and the widespread use of graphite, pencils began to be mass-produced in Germany, led by some companies you might be familiar with, like Faber-Castell or Faber-Castell, Staedtler, etc. But almost 200 years after that, in 1812, William Monroe, a Massachusetts cabinet maker, aka a colonist, began making America's first wood pencils. You see, before that, colonists used to get their pencils shipped from England. But they broke up, so... By the end of the 19th century, the U.S. pencil business blew up. It was huge, led by companies like the Joseph Dixon Crucible Company, now Dixon Ticonderoga. Even some of the German manufacturers started setting up shop in the Northeast. Shout out to Jersey and New York. This was before they were painted that regal yellow. As a matter of fact, they weren't painted at all to kind of show off that good wood. I might edit that. Sourcing pencil materials like wood and graphite and then shipping them around the world is no easy feat and can get quite expensive, so a lot of manufacturing of pencils has shifted back to Asia, where they're cheaper to make. However, with the recent global supply chain bottleneck, I suspect that must impact the price of pencils, usually such an inexpensive item. Except right before school starts, when the price gouging begins. Shout out Amazon sellers. Anyway, that's the pencil. Comes in many leads and colors, and shapes apparently, but those circular ones, they're trying too hard. Of course, everyone knows that the real MVP of the pencil is the number 2. Nobody's taking an exam with a 7B, am I right? Anyway, the pencil. Simple. I could have done that? Nah, probably not.